Hello, Brenda St. Louis with Oco Matters. And our topic today is going to be Alzheimer's and dementia. And with me today is Adrian. He's the campaign coordinator over at our Alzheimer's Society office. And Adrian, how widespread is dementia in our area?
It's very, very prevalent, not just in our area, but across Canada. Currently, there are over 500,000 Canadians that are living with Alzheimer and other dementias. We know here in the 5 eastern counties, there are currently over 3,500 diagnosed cases of Alzheimer's and other dementias. Now, on top of that, you have to imagine one full-time caregiver with every of those. So that's over 7,000 that are directly affected and living with it. And then countless more thousands of families, extended families that are.
Oh, yes. Could you tell me what are the early signs then, Adrian, that people might recognize? I guess maybe there are new signs coming out all the time.
We have 10 signs, and anyone who has any questions, we encourage them to contact us, and we'll be happy to discuss that with them. But just to give you a couple of quick ones that we can reference, and to offset that with just normal signs of aging. People often confuse just a normal sign of aging.
Like forgetting a name or something. Or
happens,
it's on the tip of my tongue, but
happens to all of us. Like that's one example right there, a problem with language. We all say that, oh, what's that word? It's on the tip of my tongue. That is not a sign of Alzheimer's or dementia. That's a regular, everyday occurrence. More so the sign would be not finding that word, struggling with words that are very common words, and then inputting or substituting a word that really has no relevance to that sentence. Completely out of place. So that would be a sign there. People often associate Alzheimer's with memory loss. Well, there is absolutely a component to that, but it's not just our regular memory loss, which we all have. It's hard for us to remember if we had a conversation with somebody a year ago or 6 months ago.
Yes.
But if we can't remember a conversation we had 10 minutes ago, a day ago, that could be a sign there. So that would be memory loss that affects your daily life. That's definitely one sign. We talk about another sign would be the loss of initiative. So if someone that's been a friend your whole life, and you know they love to go out and play cards, so you're a bridge player.
Oh, yes, yes.
And all of a sudden you start noticing they lose that interest, they lose that initiative. They don't want to go out and play bridge anymore, and which seems completely out of the personality of their personality traits. That could likely be an early sign.
That could be an early sign. And I know there was something on the National about maybe a week or so ago talking about how early signs that maybe we didn't notice before, like personality changes, like maybe someone who is quite, and it doesn't necessarily mean you'd be the one that would maybe know more about that area. Like, do you find that they're coming out with some newer signs? Like they've discovered that perhaps maybe things that you wouldn't think that would be a sign, but could be?
That changes in mood and behavior, changes in personality, those can be signs. And we're not talking just I'm in a bad mood today. These are prolonged signs that you can notice as a friend, as a family member.
Or become agitated very easily.
Agitated, suspicious, fearful. Things that seem out of the norm. Those could be signs, early signs.
Could be, eh? But you know, Adrian, something that your office is doing, we want to make our city dementia friendly. So can you tell me, what can we do in our community? There's some ways that you can...
We're very excited. This is some really good work that we're working on right now. Two levels to it, really. There's Dementia Friends, which is a component that any single person can become a dementia friend. You go to dementiafriends.ca, and all that is a commitment to learn a little bit more about dementia. And we can all do that. Once that's done, and we want to make that next step and become dementia friendly, to be a dementia friendly community, be it a business or a doctor's office, or we just did some training for Upper Canada Village. At that point, that's a step that you're taking to not only learn a little bit more, but to train your staff and to learn about things you can do to make the experience of dealing with someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's more pleasant for yourself and for those that are living with it and their families. What we do is when businesses or companies are interested, they contact us. We ask them a couple of questions about their experience with dementia, and we put together a training program. We send the people out, we train them to become to answer those questions and to become a dementia-friendly community. There's absolutely no cost for them whatsoever, and we urge anybody who's interested
And
to
do you have
contact
some
us.
people that have decided to?
As I mentioned, we did over 120 employees of Upper Canada Village, so they are now a dementia-friendly community. We are working with the City of Cornwall to train all the frontline city staff. So people coming in and dealing with the public one-on-one, that they do have dementia-friendly community training as
and
well.
I think Upper Canada Village was a good place for them to do it, because a lot of older people enjoy going to Upper Canada Village.
Everybody loves going
there.
there.
I know, everybody.
It's great.
It's great. And also, too, I think that we have less than, we have maybe about a minute left, but we also want people to know, too, that there's help, like for caregivers, here in town. Like,
absolutely.
I think most people
for the caregivers, for the extended families, we encourage anybody who has a connection to it to contact our office. We'd be happy to have them come in. We can sit down. We can talk about the services that we can provide.
And give them a break, I suppose, would be a great thing. Like maybe a day away, or I don't know how it would work, but maybe it would give the caregiver a little bit of.
That's a very important part of it.
Oh yes, that's wonderful. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome.